everybody, welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, Telltale Games, the resurrected studio behind games like The Expanse and Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead and the Batman game and all sorts of stuff, including the upcoming Wolf Among Us 2, has announced that it is going through a round of layoffs. It's that kind of week. So just as a refresher, for those of you who don't remember, back in 2018, in one day, Telltale laid off 250 employees and eventually closed down as a company later that year. However, 1 year later, there was a semblance of hope. The company was purchased in 2019 by its now CEO, Jamie Ottley, and investors with the desire to bring the narrative-based studio back to life. But now it looks like history is doomed to repeat itself for the choice-based narrative gaming company. The employee who broke the news, Jonah Huang, was a member of the original iteration of Telltale and then was brought back on under this new version and then was laid off. Huang shared on Twitter, "This is a sore subject, but I feel it necessary to add to the gaming layoff news. Telltale laid off most of us early September. Status of The Wolf Among Us 2, I can't say, NDA. Now I focus on what matters to me, my own game, and the following words. Games industry, we must unionize." After Huang's tweet circled around online, Telltale officially released a statement sharing, "Due to current market conditions, we regrettably had to let some of our Telltale team go recently. We did not take this action lightly, and our commitment to storytelling and finding new ways to do so remains the same. We are grateful to everyone for their dedication along this journey and are working to support everyone impacted. All projects currently in development are still in production. We have no further updates at this time." And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this whole Telltale lays a bunch of people off, studio shuts down, they bring back the studio, and then they lay more people off. It just seems crazy. I absolutely agree with Jonah about the whole unionized thing. I've been saying it all week long, and before that, as more and more people in the games industry are laid off, and it has been a lot lately, it just is more of an example of why there needs to be a unified voice among developers. Because if these last 2 weeks have taught us anything, it's that there needs to be some serious standards and protections for everyone in the games industry. Whether that's through IATSE, groups forming individual unions within their companies, or a completely new organization, only time will tell. And there's some people who say it's too late for unionization in gaming, and that, for all the long-term employees or the older employees who have been there, for as many of them as there are young kids coming out of college who want jobs, and it doesn't matter if they're part of a union or not. They're just going to take whatever they can get, and that forces out the older workers. But you gotta have faith in Gen Z, people. You gotta believe, because they're fed up with shit too. I have a feeling they would welcome being part of a union. I don't know. I'm sure some of you in the comments below will let me know, but I know it's a fear of like, well, they can just replace us with someone else. It's what happens all the time. It's here on YouTube is a great example. People often are like, what if YouTubers or streamers unionized? And then the pushback is always, there's going to be some 14-year-old who doesn't give a shit about that. And then he's going to come in while we're struggling and boycotting and picketing and not streaming in order to prevent YouTube from making money. Some kid's going to come along and make bank off of the fact that we're not working. But in the game dev space, I have to believe it's better than this, right? I have to. My hope is that it is, and that all the game devs can come together and form something to stop this stupid shit from happening. In other not so bleak news, what do you get when you combine Elden Ring with pro wrestling? Well, let me tell you, it's the WWE's Randy Orton paying a guy $1,000 for a load of runes that would help him get into the thick of the game. According to GameSpot, Orton said he loves Elden Ring and that it's awesome, but he couldn't deal with the bullshit of grinding out levels, so he just paid a guy $1,000 to give him a bunch of runes so he could ascend to level 100 early. And while I find that pretty funny, I am of two minds on it. One, doesn't that defeat the point of Elden Ring? I think the whole point of Elden Ring is it's a grind to overcome things, so you learn the mechanics and you learn the map and you know where to go and right? But also, if I had $1,000 to just throw around to a dude to power me through games, I would. I'm all about the power fantasy. I know what I am as a video game player. I don't like the struggle. I don't want to struggle. I want to go into a game, be level 100, one-shot everything, and be like, I am your god now. That's why I like Dynasty Warriors games. There's no challenge there. You're killing like 1,000 guys a map, and it feels great. But Again, it's Elden Ring. So, I don't know, I just thought this was really funny. I am excited by and hoping for an update on this as well, because I gotta know what the Viper screen name is. Can we hook him up with Let Me Solo Her and do a crossover thing? And I don't know, I imagine that'd be goofy to watch. I'm totally here for it. Speaking of things I'm here for, your Crenminute.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to the Crenminute, my once-a-week segment where I have to talk about whatever I want for a minute. This week, we're talking about hemorrhoids because why not, right? So, I've been experiencing one. I've had one before. They're not fun. Listen, I would take this over numerous other things I've had. The tooth pain I had, right, to get a root canal, that was terrible. I'd take this over that. A migraine headache, I would take it over that. There's some things, right? I can still sit here and kind of chill and play WoW, but in an uncomfortable state, it's annoying. And did you know that a vast majority of people, I think it's like 50%, will experience a hemorrhoid at some point in their life? Listen to that. That's according to Google. So I don't know how accurate it is, but it sounds accurate. Either way, let me know if you got any hemorrhoid remedies or if you've experienced a hemorrhoid down in the comments section below. I bet you weren't expecting that at the end of this video, or maybe you were because you're probably used to this by now. If you enjoy hearing about more of my ailments, go to youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast, the best worst podcast on the internet. See ya.
Thanks for that, Crendor. That is it for me today, but tomorrow we have got a really fun Alan Wake 2 video prepared for you. I got a package in the mail, and it's the start of what I think is an amazing ARG. Please tune into that. I'll upload it tomorrow morning. That's it for me. See you all Monday for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.